Welcome to Watercraft Network, and it's our first free ride edition. We're going to have a great conversation with Dan Schwartz from Wavedazes. For those of you that don't know, Wavedazes is going into its 12th year, based out of Virginia Beach, and it's really a cool event. It's not just a stand-up personal watercraft event. Blasters, X2s, even allows the larger capacity runabouts there. Has some really cool formats, so we really appreciate Dan joining us tonight, and why don't you have a look now?
Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school, so you can feel cool. Give it to me, baby.
Watercraft Network's pleased to have Dan Schwartz from Wavedazes with us tonight. Dan, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
So you're going into year 11 or 12 with Wavedazes.
Yeah, call it what you want, but yeah, it's been 06, so yeah, we're in year technical of 11, but 12 years of this event.
So less than a week away, right? Because you're the 20th through the 22nd?
Correct, yeah. It's next Friday, a week out.
So you're at the point now where you're just trying to get all the last minute
answering all the questions about what's the surf going to be like next week.
I'm sorry, I was going to say, isn't it funny how all the municipality type of stuff tends to be the last stuff that you end up getting?
Yeah, it never fails. I mean,
frustrating how you're always waiting. You know that bureaucratic red tape seems to be the last key component of the equation.
Yeah, the insurance people, they've been really good to me. I got it early in April. I actually had it pretty early, so it's just I kind of got a little bit of a late start with Havasu and everything, and then the other stuff that they promote and do is just trying to work around their scheduling to get the paperwork all taken care of.
How did Wavedazes, how was it conceptualized? How did it develop?
Wavedazes actually started with an idea, a little brain chop between Brian Sawyer and Alan Lloyd. They always wanted to have an event at the beach, and we all kind of pitched in and came up with the idea of riding at the beach, and they made it a reality by getting the permits and paperwork done and getting the insurance taken care of, and they did a good job for it for a few years, and then I kind of stepped in and took over the reins and been running ever since with it.
Yeah, it's really a fun event. Great location as well, great town. So I mean, it's almost like the perfect facility that you have there. The beach with the actual town and the nightclubs and the hotel. I mean, it's just like couldn't have planned it any better.
Yeah, I mean it's the perfect little. I like to use it's a perfect venue for it here. You've got everything from the hotels that are super cool about us being there, and you got a whole age range people that come and they kind of tolerate the noise that we kind of make at nighttime and in the daytime. And the nightclub that we've been using, Peabody's, they've been super cool, providing us a shuttle free of charge, and they run it from 7 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the morning for us at no cost.
Yeah, I remember taking the shuttle there. Back, I just can't really recall, but
yeah, long night. Must have been an English all down from your lips.
It was a good time. So for people unfamiliar with the event, what is the format? How would you explain the Wavedazes free ride to someone who hasn't attended?
Basically, Friday between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning, we show up at the boardwalk at 10th Street. Everybody gets unloaded. We've got four-wheelers there ready to go to get you to the beach, get you on the water, and we ride all day Friday from 8 to sunset-ish, 5:30, 6 o'clock, depending on the year, and depending on what time of year it is. It's a little darker now. And then Saturday, same kind of format. We open up at 8:30, 9 o'clock, and they ride until 12-ish. And then depending on the surf conditions, we've got a sickest trick contest. I also usually put on a formal event contest depending on who the event sponsor is, and we run two people out at a time, and they do their tricks per se for 5 minutes or so, and then we bring it back in. The next go out, we've got judges that actually judge the event, and then from about 3:30 on, it's wide open free ride. Come out and ride, enjoy it. And then Saturday evening in front of my hotel room at the Quality Inn, we do a huge raffle and make the best of it. And then Sunday it's wide open riding from 9 a.m. till 3-4 o'clock.
And Dan, are only stand-up personal watercraft allowed to participate in this event?
Absolutely not. We have everything from stand-ups, X2s, blasters, big sit-downs. So your smaller two-seater sit-downs. There's a little bit of everything for everybody to do. Weather permitting, for this bigger skis, we do what's called a Light Tower Challenge, where they run at the Chesapeake Light Tower, which is, I think it's 14 miles offshore. And we've got a chase boat that goes out there with them, and they run out and take pictures and sightsee for that time frame, and then they come running back. And then what if we don't run that? I have in the past done a full-on run what you brung race.
Really?
For everything from your sit downs to your stand-ups to your X2s to your blasters to everything, and everybody really seemed to enjoy that.
No kidding. That's really cool that it's all inclusive. You know, that it's not one of those events that's...
I don't want to exclude anybody, unlike some of the other things that, other events that are out there, specific to one certain type of ski that you ride. I want everybody to come, have a good time, bring your family, bring your wife, bring your kids, and make the best of the weekend.
That's a great segue. How old do participants have to be in order to participate in Wave Days? How old would riders have to be?
Typically, as long as there is an adult present to sign the minor release form, there is not typically a minimum age or a minimum age requirement. I've had kids as young as 10 or 12 years old. Granted, they're riding with their parent on the back of the ski or the front of the ski, but they've been out there on the water riding and getting wet and having a good time with the rest of them.
That's great. That really does make it a family event, as you just mentioned a minute ago.
Absolutely.
So is there a cost or an entry fee associated with the event?
There is. It's a $40 entry fee, and that helps offset the cost of the insurance, and it makes the event happen every year. And without the insurance, obviously the events can't happen.
Right.
So we require that as an entry fee, and then everything else is extra as far as raffle tickets for the big raffle at the end of the night for the rides that we do, and all in good fun.
That's beyond reasonable for 3 days of riding and exclusive access to the beach. I mean, for $40, there's no way for such a minor fee that you're doing anything other than covering operating expenses.
I mean, people spend $40 blowing it on more things than just jet skiing. I mean,
oh yeah,
$40 on a jet ski probably get you a few gallons of gas and some fuel line.
Exactly. So, how many people does it take to pull off an event of this magnitude?
Typically, setup takes 4 or 5 people, all volunteers. People that usually show up early for their ride, they'll come out and help me set up. Right. And then running the event, it's usually my wife and a couple of friends that help registration, and then I sit out there and help her with that. And then we've got the guys that come in town that bring their own four-wheelers that are nice enough to shuttle everybody around and let other people use their quads or their razors or whatever they're bringing. And then it's usually 4 or 5 people to break down on Sunday. So, you could call it 10 people, in total, but typically to run it during the weekend, it's usually 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, wow. Well, that's amazing. I mean, it's amazing that you're able to pull off that caliber of an event with that, small volume of staff. I mean, or volunteers. That's incredible. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, everybody kind of looks out for everybody. So if something were to happen, there's somebody on it really quick.
Right. So you mentioned earlier the stuff, the competition components. Do you have anything special planned for this year, or you kind of play it by ear based upon surf conditions?
The October rides can be kind of a play it by ear. If there's enough participation and the surf's cranking pretty good, we're definitely going to pull off something. It's just a matter of people who want to participate in it, and we don't want anybody going there and getting hurt, obviously. But
right.
If it's questionable, I would say I would not do something. But if the surf's good and people are down for it, absolutely, we're going to do something.
And Dan, I know you guys have done a ton for charity over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you've done stuff. You've actually been really innovative, and instead of just giving to, just handing a cash roll to a charity, you've really done some cool stuff. Anything planned for this year?
In the April ride, we actually did a charity called the Spikes Canine Foam. We gave them a donation to purchase a bulletproof vest for a police dog. The October ride is going to be just minimal, come out and ride, and gets donated to the Virginia Beach Marine Rescue Squad because we have to have them, and they're a volunteer-based group. So they receive minimum $500 to over, I think we've given them over $1,000 in the past.
Wow, what a great charity for the dog and the bulletproof vest. I mean, that's really cool. That must have been cool to present that vest to the officer on the beach.
Oh yeah, it was really cool. I mean, they were outside the hotel room. Everybody's in the lobby and everybody's out having a good time. And
what's the best way for people to get a hold of you, Dan? People who are unfamiliar with the event or have never gone.
They can find me on the Wavedaze Facebook page. It's on there. They can find me on Facebook as well. Facebook is the easiest way to reach out to the massive amount of people. Yep, and mark your calendars for April 13, 14, and 15 of 2018. That's my tentative planning dates.
Well, I'm not going to reveal any information that we talked about prior, but that sounds like it's going to be a barn burner if you're able to pull off
Oh yeah, it'll be guaranteed a good party.
It certainly sounds like what you have in the works for the spring will really be a good time.
I always aim to make sure everybody has a good time and enjoys themselves while they're here.
Yeah. Well, it's great time. It's, as I said, great area, perfect venue. You guys put on just a class act, great event, and we wish we could be there, but we appreciate you taking the time to join us, and just give us
absolutely,
and maybe we'll get an opportunity to talk to you again this winter, and you can kind of tease us with some of the stuff that's coming up for the spring.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good one, and like the stuff you guys do up there, without the sponsors of the events, things like this can't happen.
Yeah, and that's the tough part, But fortunately, there's a lot of really, really generous people involved in the industry, and you have a great group of riders I know that regularly attend and support your event, so it makes it a lot easier for the sponsors to get involved. When you have that rider base. So
absolutely,
more people,
it helps.
Yeah, the more people that show up and buy raffle tickets, the easier it is for guys like you to continue with events like these.
Absolutely. Even if they don't buy a raffle ticket, as long as they came to the ride and had a good time and tell their friends about it, to me that means more than buying a raffle ticket.
Yeah. Good point. Well, again, thanks for letting us disturb your Friday night. We really appreciate you taking the time. Yeah, we really appreciate it. We hope for and wish you the best for another successful event. I hope you get killer surf next weekend.
Yeah, they're showing. I looked at it yesterday afternoon. Eric Malone messaged me and says he's trying to come down next weekend, and he asked me what the surf was looking like. And somebody posted up that it's supposed to be between 3 and 5 foot consistent, with like 6 mile an hour winds.
Wow! So you can't really ask for better conditions than that. That's fantastic.
5 and 6 foot swells rolling through here. It'll make for a weekend to remember.
Oh, absolutely. We appreciate you taking the time to come on Watercraft Network, help us expose your event and build our new event forum here for personal watercraft. So it's really cool to talk to you.
Absolutely, it's good seeing you too.
Yeah, you too, man. So hopefully we'll see you in the spring.
Absolutely.
If you have cool ride footage that you'd like us to feature on the show, get a hold of us at the email address on the screen. You have a group of guys, girls that go out and ride, cool spots, you're hosting an event, let us know about it. Let us help you expose your product, expose your group, expose your rides. Let the industry see your cool footage.